Okay, welcome to another episode of BWS Live. I'm your host, Charles Lewis, and I'm once again in the studio. And with me today is Rory Rafferty. I would love to have the ability to pronounce that name in Gaelic. And because it's quite different. But I'm sure Rory is going to tell us all about that very shortly. Rory is from Ireland. And in addition to having this crazy notion that he wants to come to Barbados for a long period of time in this gorgeous weather and beautiful sand and turquoise water, leaving a place like Ireland. I don't know what got into his mind, but he's coming to Barbados. And what is particularly interesting about Rory is that he and I have talked about taking over the BWS Live because Rory has been involved in production and podcasting for some time, and I'm more than happy to let him take over and take us to the next level. Rory, I want to thank you very much for joining us today on BWS Live.
That's a very, very generous introduction. And yeah, you're right in saying it. Rory is the Gaelic for Rory, traditionally speaking. Gaelic is obviously our native tongue. And in essence, really, you're right in saying, yeah, hosting will be the new platform that I'll be going into. My background, generally speaking, derived from sports science through sporting contexts and in sales. Definitely, yeah, you're right. The aim would be to bring this platform to the next level, to give it the coverage that it deserves. Digital nomads are only, I'd imagine, crazy not to look at opportunities like this, to give them the energy to like release. Why would you want to sit in a concrete jungle when you can flex your muscles and have a cocktail while you sit on a Friday and wait for the beach to kick in? So the whole move is, logically speaking, to get over there. Logistics are getting organized, and we're very close. So extremely excited and looking forward to having a chat.
Fantastic. Before we get into our discussion, I want to go back to the Gaelic topic. How do you pronounce your full name in Gaelic?
A little tongue twister. It's Rory O. Rafferty.
Okay. I've always been aware of the Gaelic language. Never knew much about it, but I was aware of it. I wasn't aware that it is stemming from Ireland. Is that where it originated?
Well, I imagine like the roots go as far back, like it's derived from Latin. And like anything in embedded terms, like the Bayesian way comes from, how many people have visited the island over the years. So again, I'm only another visitor in that sense. Obviously the culture is embedded, and we're very proud to fly the flag. We're a very lucky country that the passport carries us all over the world. And it's very well recognized. So in the manner of the Gaelic way, I went to a Gaelic primary school or elementary school in the States. So like that, it's a great foundation because it gives you the basis of languages. And then carrying on through that, I took up German at another stage. But it really does give you the basis of listening and interpreting, and especially in sales, it's so important to understand your client. Or like that on a podcast, it's very important to understand who you're talking to and knowing your audience.
Absolutely. We have a few people in the audience listening, and so Sarah already said good morning to you. Sarah is part of the BWS team. Well, let's talk about when you first heard about the Barbados Welcome Stamp Initiative, or when you first got the idea that you want to make Barbados your home most of the year.
Yeah, so essentially it stemmed back like through the year last year. Naturally, COVID hit the world, and as you mentioned before, like the stream of the visa was internationally advertised. And in my head, I've always had like sailing at the back of my, I suppose, skill set, really. I've been a big sailor right from when I was a Smurf or a leprechaun, you might refer them as abroad. That once I grew into myself, like I was always on the water. Hence, the freedom to be able to work and live by the water is a natural feat. To process the actual transition of actually moving over, it really happened very quickly. I was listening to yours truly, yourself, and Yvonne Campbell talking on the previous episodes, and it very simply happened similar to Yvonne's story. That like literally overnight, I was listening through my mind, going, "That sounds very, 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 very nice."
Yeah.
Transitioning from what like is Dublin life essentially in my last environment, working in tech sales,
Yeah.
to be able to do this remotely in the sunshine
Yeah.
is no mean feat, but my God, it's very quickly becoming a reality.
What scares you most about coming to a much smaller country and being enveloped into or pandemic here in Barbados? Because it's the same all over the world. What scares you most? Because in Ireland you have more. There's a everything is on a much bigger scale. Medical facilities, doctors. What scares you the most coming to a small island?
To be honest, what scares me the most is how much I'm going to love it. Because like I've sailed again to go into the sailing way. Obviously, this is very big on the lifestyle over in the islands, but like I've adopted a lot on my own mentality from my own mindset from when I did flotilla skippering in Croatia. This was through a flotilla company, and we were entitled to I think 8 to 12 guests a week, and we were doing it all around the islands. But my embedded traditions always go to meet the locals, get to know everybody. Have the community feel, the tribal feel. Like as I'd say in New Zealand, like you want the mana, you want the mantra, you want the essence of everything that has really caught my eye already has always been like the multinational tribal feel. Not even the tourists that will arrive over time, but in essence, like what scares me is, will I ever come home? To be honest, I don't know. Will I rather? Excuse me, but. At the same time, island life is just like I never wear shoes. It's a simple fact of just kick off the shoes and relax.
Were you concerned about us having the adequate medical facilities and infrastructure to handle the pandemic here? We do, of course, we do. But did that bother you when you first thought of coming to Barbados?
Not really, because from what I've seen from the outside and watching some of the Prime Minister's announcements. It's actually been handled much better where you are than we are. So like anything, when you've scaled down, as in the size of the population, literally speaking, to a smaller island, like we're on an island as well, you're actually managing it a lot better. The operation of the lockdowns here has just been like kind of taken at a level where people don't really know. Like it's so confusing. 1 minute this can be done, the next minute that can't be done, and in essence, it's just like it's so frustrating, and people don't really comply. Where like in the essence of the island, it's simple. You comply and things recover. In Ireland, it's just like there's no real community. Like Ireland is, yes, everyone bangs on about that Ireland is great, but at the same time, there is, I suppose, faults in their processes.
What are your views on this? Is quite a controversial issue right now, but the vaccination. What stage are you at in Ireland with the vaccination?
We're at the early stages. Like my grandmother here, who watches over me over my shoulder there in the photo, she just got her vaccination, the first round of it there last week. So please God, she'll get her second one the day before Patrick's Day. For anyone who doesn't know Patrick's Day, that's the day Ireland takes over the world and has a big green light on it. The cases with that, it's getting there, but it's still like I can't see it clearing here until September. Like here at the moment, we're still on the lockdown equivalent to the equivalent of what you have at the moment, and they're forecasting it nearly until June. And essentially, it's been like that since last March. There was 2 months that were like a little window that you could have fun. And even at that, like it's literally just open and close. Like pubs or anything in hospitality hasn't been open since Paddy's Day last year.
What is the process going to be like coming over to Barbados now? It's probably different today than it was when the first set of welcome stampers came over, because numbers have increased with COVID-19 discoveries. And how do you envision this is going to take place for you coming from Ireland here. Just take us through the steps, and what are your major concerns about that transition from Ireland to Barbados?
Good question, actually. My transition logistics are fairly simple. Mainly saying that Yvonne has actually literally pulled the logistics for the accommodation. She has pulled up quotes and everything for me. I just have to book them. Essentially, that would be my quarantine plus 3 weeks. So I'm going to stay for the first month in the hotel on the south coast, and then that will give me the basis to get places or ideas or whatever like that. At least the base, which is good. Logistically speaking, for the flights, they are so easy, like anything through London. Myself, then the move here, I'm essentially setting myself up to cut ties and just move, put everything away that doesn't need to be brought, and go with the intention of staying. What I suppose I'm concerned about the most really is more so what I'm leaving behind. A lot of people are nearly all around me really concerned about the move, in the sense like, oh, what are you doing? It's really quick and all this. But at the same time, transitions in life, the minute you make that decision, once you have the vision and you manifest that vision through the actions and you put in the groundwork, I'm ensuring that my logistics and thorough organization is well done and thought out here, that it's more of a natural I suppose release that I go over, and I suppose it's a bit more of a peace of mind for anyone here. And in that essence, like, it's trying to tee people up to make sure that the minute COVID lifts, that hopefully they'll book a flight and come over to me.
It seems as though Yvonne, sorry, not Sarah, Yvonne has done a phenomenal job in in giving you all the information you require to come here. I wonder.
Well, likewise as yourself, like it's been a two person show, and I've spoken to Sarah as well briefly as well. But like anything, from anything that I've started to maneuver on the island, be it like essentially not knowing anyone over there, already it feels like home. And like anything, I haven't put my foot in the sand yet, but the minute I feel like that connection on the energy, that will be fun. So like anything, it's a case of we'll get the quarantine done, and at the same time, like, I'm launching my own projects here as well, and they're all going to go with me, like anything. So it's a really exciting time, and I'm really looking forward to getting over.
Well, let's talk a bit about the BWS Live broadcast and how it got started and where I would like to see it go in the very near future. And because in our discussions prior to this podcast, or this, I hate the word interview. We're having a discussion. This is not an interview for me. We talked about you coming on board and helping us with the BWS Live. Now, this was started a number of weeks ago, and it's an extension of the BWS Facebook group and Facebook page, which was launched shortly after the announcement was made by the Prime Minister that Barbados was going to be doing this extended stamp scenario, and the whole world knew about it, because this was single-handedly the most powerful, the most effective, and certainly the one marketing strategy that has received this much publicity. And right away, I thought that I would launch a Facebook group, a Facebook page, and subsequently a live stream. The idea is to have people who are on the welcome stamp, or who are thinking of coming over to Barbados on the welcome stamp, to be interviewed to talk about their interest, that process, their fears, their concerns. It is also to give an opportunity to businesses in Barbados who want to promote their products and services to welcome stampers to come on as sponsors or promotion partners of sorts to talk about their products and services. I see the extension of this being a live stream that encompasses eventually the entire Caribbean, of people who are digital nomads, starting off with Barbados, of course, and then expanding. What are your thoughts based on what I've said in our previous discussions? How do you feel about the opportunity? And you know, we're a small world compared to Ireland, but we have big dreams and big plans.
Well, that's a nice way to tee it up. I know there's a golf course over there that hopefully we might be able to bash our skills at some stage. I'm not sure if you're a golfer, but I'll definitely try my hand at it. I love a game of golf. Love anything, to be honest. So to backtrack on your thoughts, the essence of this has been established since early Q1. As you said, it's been rolled out and there's a couple of episodes in. I would see my role coming in through as host and producer as the introductory front. Behind the scenes, as you mentioned, with sponsorship and sponsored ads, I have a strong pedigree in sponsored ads experience through sponsored ad campaigns and previous roles in my own career. And I would definitely embody that with the experience of the nature of the visa. With that in mind, as you mentioned, we will invite guests on and let them have their say and listen to their stories. Like anything, we want to hear about them and who they are and whatnot. In that manner, what my vision would be for this is hopefully to get it onto all streaming platforms and then hopefully essentially set up a charitable donation, monthly subscription model that would allow people to follow the journey and the process along the way.
Yes, because I see the BWS Live not just as a broadcast that is confined by the perimeter of the Facebook group, but to become an integral part of tourism marketing and be part of the bigger picture to promote Barbados or any destination in the Caribbean, because Barbados is just a start. And the digital nomad situation has been around for quite some time. It didn't start with Barbados, and it is a growing market. So I see tremendous potential in the long and the short term for this. And it would be. I'm happy to think that I have the opportunity to partner with someone like yourself from the international market so that we can benefit from local and international thinking with regards to the business development and marketing strategies as far as the BWS Live is concerned. So I'm looking forward to the challenge, the opportunity, and to working with you on this, and to be here for you in case you have any questions about golfing, sailing, whatever. having rum punch I can tell you the best rum shops to go to on the island.
and the fish cakes, all the fresh seafood that we can have.
Absolutely. I think I made a mistake by telling everyone that I took everyone out for a drink and we had pina colada and fish cakes. Now,
I think you've started a ritual.
Yes, because everyone on Welcome Stamp is now asking me when am I going to take them out for fish cakes. So no, it's is there anything else you would like to share with us about your journey here?
Actually, to be fair, I suppose to be very fair with it, it's a very Irish phrase. Sorry, apologies for the repetition. But today is naturally a hump day, right? Wednesday. So expressing gratitude is extremely important to get us through, and the positivity and all the rest of it. You guys have been thorough, extremely welcoming. It's like a family feel on an island. Like anything, people see these picturesque experiences and they think, oh my God, it looks so good. But at the same time, it's the feelings, it's the people that make it. And already I can feel that. So what I would reflect back is just the thanks, honestly, from the bottom of my heart that you guys have reached a point that you're actually considering this leprechaun on your show. And hopefully we can bring the Irish look and bring the flag, as they say, and deliver what we are aiming to do. And honestly, from all of the opportunities that it presents, it really is a life-changing opportunity. So, like, as I mentioned before, it's a case of just extremely grateful and thoroughly looking forward to the opportunity.
I do want to say that, and I hope I say this with the right Irish accent. You have to bring the luck with the Irish.
That's the one.
To Barbados. Anyway, I must also say that we, like in our government, like any other around the world, the COVID-19 is such a huge shock to everyone's system, and governments are trying their best to manage this. and we might not get everything right, but we're quick to change and adapt and get it right. And you're not going to come here and find a tourism resort like people of 5 years ago found it, because lockdown and restrictions and protocols and so on. And it is important for people not to have a false sense of expectation. Yes, it is still paradise, but we are struggling with this pandemic, and we have our challenges here. And I noticed that a number of people have been very disappointed, and they've got all kinds of negativity, in terms of their commenting. But we're like any other country. We're struggling with it, and we will get some things right, we will get some things wrong, and we will adapt and change and then get it right. So it's important for you and everyone else to know that don't come here with unrealistic expectations, because we are still in the middle of this, like you are in Ireland.
Yeah, and it's a very good point, because I suppose, like anything, the pandemic has changed the world, but what it has presented in its challenges, it also brings in opportunities.
Yes.
So the shift in the way of the world and behavior, hopefully will bring more positivity. Yes, there's a lot of negativity, but you're always going to face a lot of negativity during a period of change.
Yeah.
That's just the way people are, and that's the way traditionally things are genetically manifested, if you will. So handling negativity is not a problem. I actually quite enjoy taking those challenges and piecing them apart and always asking why, because I always feel like there's something deeper. Like if someone is up front with negativity, there's always something in their side. Essentially, what I'm looking at is moving to Barbados. Internally, my environment is so at peace that this is all a part of the journey. I'm not yes, people would say you're going over there expecting sun, sea, and sand and all the rest of it. At the same time, it's a way of life. I really enjoy living on an island in Ireland, but I just want to live on a better island, literally. So in that way, it will give me more positivity. Yes, there will be negativity. You face that every minute of every day. As long as you turn up every day, you show yourself that you are happy with yourself, you accept yourself for who you are, and then you really show people around you what you're made of.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're almost at the end of this discussion, and I want to take this opportunity to thank you very much for coming on to the show and tell us all about who you are and your journey here. And I'm looking forward to your arrival. I'm looking forward when we can go have the fish cakes and the pina colada. Okay, not a problem. But in closing, is there anything you would like to say to the audience?
Just really looking forward to getting out there. For anyone that's over already or anyone that's thinking of coming, I would heavily consider it. I'm saying that before I've even left. I'm not even wearing shoes at the moment. That's saying it's practice, but that's just my normal practice. And again, just reflecting on a grateful time so far and the time we've connected. I'm really looking forward to putting this into reality, and looking forward to getting started with the project. And let's hit the ground running. But at the same time, I can't wait to get out to the sunshine.
Fantastic. Well, Rory, I want to thank you very much again for coming on to the show and speaking with us. And we will see you in Barbados very soon. You have a wonderful day, and we'll speak off air very shortly. Thank you very much.
Thanks a million, buddy.
You're welcome.